You and your team need to work remote. Still not working. Hold on. Let me see something here. Turn this on. All right, y'all. Let me see. I'm trying something. Good morning, Miss B. We appreciate you so much. Y'all do me a favor. Let me see. I'm trying to look on this thing here. I thought I had something. Let's see if I can change this right here. All right, that's not working. All right, do me a favor. I know y'all a couple of seconds behind me. This is the first time I'm trying this thing back in a minute with the just getting on. I thought it was my picture. Okay, that's not working. I got to work that camera thing out though. Grace and peace. Mello, good to see you, man. We appreciate you. Good to see you, Jerome. Y'all see what we got going on here. Y'all know I'm up in the city. This whole Corona thing is crazy. I'm gonna give it a couple of more seconds. I'm just testing this thing out, but we may do me a favor, just type one in there. How am I sounding? I don't wanna be, let me see if this thing is working properly. Oh, I need to hit this button over here. Hey Baker, good to see you. Sister Cherry and them came at me like, boy, boy, when you got them folk, they something else. But I'm telling you, we're on right now. I just want to work my camera thing out, but I'm telling y'all right now, it's gonna, like I tell them, don't pick no sides, just listen to everybody. They over there, they don't want nobody to be saved, but we got some folk we're gonna line up. Matter of fact, we got most of the stuff set up already. A few of those people. I'm gonna get Apostle Jenkins on here from the I'm talking about straight live, y'all. I'm talking about straight live. We're gonna get from the pen to the pulpit. I'm gonna get Pastor Mark on here with a couple of his partners down there in Washington State. And we gonna get a few people. Like I said, I told the guy Ron Dalton, I told that brother I was gonna holler at him. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get all of them on live. Just let them talk. Just let them talk. Just hear their side of the story. I know those other people. They're gonna come and they're gonna listen, and they're gonna be in the comment section and they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do. But I'm telling y'all right now, a lot of people, they may not like it, but a lot of people are. A lot of folk done with the church, y'all. The church don't know. They don't rule this planet. They ain't ruling like they were ruling in Europe, terrorizing folks, saying who's saved, who ain't saved, who this, who that, and just doing what they all want to do. Somebody hit me and they, people are upset. They said, "Well, Berean, you loose with the doctrine. You don't tell us your position." Listen, all of this stuff, a lot of this stuff, 90% of this stuff that we're arguing about existed, and people has been arguing some of these things for hundreds of years. Jerome, the thing with the canon always pops up every now and then. Grace and peace, Pastor Majors. Johnson, hit me in the email if you wanna jump on, because I want to see how this thing look. And and so a lot of when we start dealing with a lot of these doctrines, what people don't understand is a lot of the stuff been around. We have people that's on both sides of the fence with the whole once saved, always saved, Calvinism, tulip. We have people, good people on both sides of the fence with a lot of these things. And it's a serious problem when folks running around here and they just upset because I ain't putting everybody in hell. I'm not going to put every Freemason in hell, but that's it. That means you love the order. But we're going to talk about the New World Order. We're going to talk about the New World Order. I know y'all can't see me. I got my thing off. I thought I had my picture up there. We got to try to figure this thing out. A lot of what they were doing in Europe, like I said, some people had to come against the church because the church wanted to terrorize folk. And it seemed like the church today is trying to terrorize some folk. and plain and simple, trying to terrorize some folk, and folk ain't having it no more. Folks not having it no more. They're not saying that the church isn't a great, a great God-given organization, but some of this stuff that the visual church is doing, they don't know they can kick rocks. I'm 2 minutes off of just saying I'm giving up that whole title of a Christian. I'm 2 minutes away from that because of these stumpers, and their behavior. Good morning, LeChat. We appreciate you. We're gonna try to be calm with it before we start going in. But the first thing I want to say is we got to remember, you can say what you want. Some people say, man, listen, you gotta this is the first time, and they said long as they've been alive, that basketball players and movie stars are not as important as the doctors and people on the front line. First thing I want to do, we got to definitely remember in prayer. We got to definitely remember these doctors and these nurses, people putting their lives on the line. We up here in New York, and in New York, they were telling everybody, everybody should have had a mask on, but they running around telling a lot of people, you don't need a mask, you don't need a mask. That's because they wanted to save them for the doctors and stuff. I said, oh, no, he getting ready to get online. Somebody just sent the email. But these people here, they're running around here. You got to have a mask on. That's what they're trying to say right now, that you got to have a mask on. The essential workers, they're so important. And I'm gonna we're gonna remember them in prayer today. Like I said, the EMTs, the doctors, the firemen out here was even shouting them out. Shout out to them. I hate to say it, but shout out to the police officers. Shout out to the correction. They telling me they emptying out Rikers Island. They getting stuff. But when they letting folk out of the jail, something is going on. But they're trying to let people out. Cops not arresting people on little petty stuff that they would normally do, and all of this is for a reason. Let me give y'all some numbers. We're a little over 1 million on the planet. 1 million people are infected, and this is definitely considered a pandemic. Now, what stuff used to happen before? What we don't understand is before we had planes and people used to travel, and people weren't traveling as much. It was harder for sicknesses to spread all over the planet. But we're jumping on jet planes from here to there. We're flying all over, people coming in and out. The swine flu, I think they said Spanish flu, was a lot of the military people. They were traveling and this and that, and that's how it spread. But this stuff is really spreading. This stuff is really serious. Now, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about religion, and we're going to just talk about the whole New World Order thing, because y'all know I've been getting in the mail. Mellow, they've been hitting me, and they've been saying, listen, this is connected to that G5. This is connected to the new cell towers that's out here, and this is what's getting people sick. It's the radiation. Italy, you can't even move around. You can't even move around on Italy unless you have a signed paper. And if they catch you going anywhere outside of shopping or anywhere outside of the doctors, they're giving you a fine. You just can't even walk the streets. They want to lock down most of the country. We're going to talk about the workers coming in, and when you start looking at the fruits and stuff, the other farmers are saying, a lot of y'all folk don't want to get out there and pick none of them grapes, pick none of them berries. So somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do it. Just hit me later on, Johnson. We're going to get on. I just wanted to jump on here for a minute and say that we back on. We're going to go in. We're going to invite a bunch of people on, and y'all going to hear it right here. So if they think this ain't no Berean, ain't no Christian, they're going to know for sure this ain't no solely Christian channel, not no thumping channel. This is a place where people can get together and we can dialogue and share thoughts with an open mind, not bringing no new religion in, but boy, we're going to shake up some of that old stuff. And because we want to dialogue, because of this stuff, we got beef with some people. Like I said, we can bring on Apostle Jenkins and all of that, but we got to take time out and remember those nurses. It's so crazy because I was listening to one documentary, and the scientist said back in 1997, y'all know we got scientists. There was a scientist in the CDC, and they study bacteria, they study germs. This is what they do. I don't listen to the president. The president can't tell me nothing, not when it comes to this. This is not his lane. We're back in that same thing again. The president talking and the scientists and the professionals and everybody right here, they're looking like, what is he talking about? And oftentimes we find that, and this is a perfect example of it right here, where people are just the president saying one thing and scientists saying something totally different. They said we just got over here. I think we got over 6,000 that died. That's double the amount of people that died in 9/11. That's double the amount. So it's definitely a serious time. A lot of people are locked. A lot of people are locked down, and then you have some that's moving around like usual. On the train yesterday, somebody started coughing, and the girl said, "This is a good place to get beat up, mister. You better cover your mouth and stop that, because there's still some people moving around, but they're trying to say to prevent the spread of this thing. To prevent the spread of this thing, you gotta go self-quarantine. You gotta go lock yourself down to keep it from spreading, because it can get out of control, and some people still think it's a joke. Well, one of the things that I don't deal with, because I got some questions, I'm gonna try to answer those. Some people been, giving me, asking me questions and hitting me with videos from the conscious community and all of this. I guess you would call it conscious videos, where people start talking about the white man this and the white man that. I'm careful with the conspiracies, with the 5G and everything. I'll look into that, but I'm careful with conspiracies when people are running around here talking about, oh, the white man is doing this and the white man, and the Georgia Guidestones, and we got to talk about all of this stuff. Are they trying to reduce the population? But if we got scientists out here working, if we got people out here that are doing certain things, I'm not going to just start making it a black and white thing. Oh, a lot of times when you start dealing with these conscious people, these so-called woke folk, they want to go somewhere and they just want to start their nonsense and, oh, the white man is doing this, the white man is doing that. Listen, what about science? What about plain old science, and how is science affecting how we live? We're living longer. More people are living longer, but these people are studying bacterias. They do know some things. When it comes down to it, we got to understand people are coming in contact with animals. My homegirl got the African parrot. People have snakes. People have all type of animals, and a lot of these sicknesses is coming in contact with it. People coming in contact and spreading from animals to humans, and we have to listen to what the scientists say. This is where, now I know y'all people may get offended, but this is where the preachers and the politicians and the other people need to move to the side and let the scientists speak. Those people that are professionals in this specific field. Now, in the midst of all of this, where Pastor Major's at right now, where Johnson at right now? Come on, Elder. In the midst of all of this, what is the Most High saying? That's what the preachers can do. Preachers can tell me in the midst of this, what is the Most High saying? I know y'all a couple of seconds behind me, so I'm going to throw that out there. Come on, leader. Come on, Rome. This got to be something. When people start talking about pandemics and all of this stuff, like we've been had certain things on the planet, but we believe it's going to be an increase in the last days. Only our books say that. We're going to get to the New World Order this afternoon. I think we're going to do that at 12 o'clock, but only our book says that. This cashless society, we have to touch on some of these things. But how are these things developing and what's going on right now? I'm surprised at the number of believers that's so shook, messing around with this right here, like their whole world is falling apart. Certain things we need to be expecting, certain things we need to understand. And it's only a few people that's saying, hold on, I want to read what the pastor's saying. He's saying, pray and use wisdom practically and spiritually. I like what you heard what he said. I'm going to read that again. He's saying, pray and use wisdom practically and spiritually. He's separating the two wisdoms. He's separating the two wisdoms. Miss B said, get in the house. And the fastest way to kill a thing when we start dealing with germs, remember I said the two things that has changed so much in the world is the telescope and the microscope. If these people have been studying germs and they understand certain things, we need to take their advice. If they're saying wash your hands, if they're saying don't bring certain packages in the house as soon as you get them, leave them in the garage. The virus will die in 2 or 3 days, like it was on a cardboard box in a day. If it's like a UPS package, don't just go run out there. You keep 6 feet, keep distance when you do go out. A lot of people in the hood, for some reason, a lot of this stuff is going on. But in the hood, I don't believe a lot of stuff I hear in the hood. It's like when I'm looking on the internet. Johnson, the Most High said, repent. What do I mean when I say I was looking some stuff on the internet? They were telling me black folk couldn't get this. They start saying crazy stuff in the hood. You hear me, Rome? The hood say crazy stuff, and it's not based on fact. A lot of it just based on ignorance or based on hatred towards another ethnic group. You know, in every disease, if we look at every pandemic on the planet, they're going to always find a group of people. When the AIDS thing came out, what did they do? Automatically, they jumped on the homosexuals. And this always happened. Now they want to badmouth some Asian people because, you know, just because of where the locale or they say ground zero is for this thing. And we always do that. We always do stuff like that. Good to see you, Ernest. Good to see you, brother, man. We appreciate you. And we got to be careful doing the stuff that we're doing, that we start condemning a people or condemning somebody. They want to push the black superiority complex. And that's how a bunch of this nonsense spreads through this black superiority complex. This is and that's a problem. So when people start talking about they conscious and they woke and they this and they that and they start talking about the white man, you could say what you want. One thing I don't do, I believe in giving everybody their props. That's how come I say that I'll speak the good, I'll speak the bad about fraternities and other things. I'll speak the good and I'll speak the bad about the church. I'll speak the good and the bad about different things. And we have to say, you could say what you want, Rome. There's a lot of folk that's rushing to come to America. These white folks set up this country and many of these other countries. The white folks set them up. They try to act like white folk haven't done anything on the planet. And that disgusts me. For any ethnic group to do that, that's a serious problem. And the conscious community running around out here like we invented everything. The white man didn't invent nothing. It's all nonsense. It's all madness. And we got a lot of madness spreading. And if you feel as an ethnic group, your group and your community can come up or needs some more social, upward social mobility, you don't do it by banging on them white folk and lying on them white folk. You don't do it. You don't. That's not how you do it. And a lot of people are doing that, and they're just really feeding some hatred. They're not moving into wisdom. They definitely not moving in nothing that the Most High is involved in. And when I'm saying this, I might as well shift that thing over not only to inventions, but shift that thing over to race. Where them preachers at right now? I got to shift this thing over to race. I got folk constantly in my email hitting me, running around here talking about white folk can't be saved. What book you reading? What book you reading and what heart you reading the book with? Where are you getting that from? No, salvation is only for Israel. What book y'all reading? Where Enoch and them is at then? All of this stuff is problems. Y'all are reading. A lot of people are reading this text out of a wicked heart. And these people, that's how come we're not dealing with religion. But we're gonna talk about religion today because there's some folk, even if they pushing nationality, they pushing folk running around here pushing religion. And it's religion mixed with superiority. That is beef. Yeah, of course they'll run to one scripture. I love Israel above all nations and all of that other stuff. Man, listen, salvation is open, whosoever will. Now that's book right there. That's how come you got to pick and choose the verses you want to push that nonsense. And then when you got other people that's saying no, that's balanced, that even would call to consider themselves Israel that's balanced, and they be like, no, 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 we don't believe that. That ain't the book right there. People are hating on them. People are calling them Christian Israel. Oh boy, everybody got it rough. If you're going to declare truth, people are going to, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. People are going to condemn you. People are going to be offended at certain things you say. Plain and simple. We got to start teaching. That's how I'm saying, Rev. See, we got to get these people basic doctrine, Christology. These people all over the place. All over the place with on the nature of Christ, what saves you, salvation, basic stuff they're all over the place with. So we got to talk about religion and we got to talk about the moving process. We got to talk about that process that's pushing us to a new world order. What are we going to do with that right there? George Bush was talking about that, and his father was talking about that. A lot of the elite, a lot of educated people are part of secret societies. We got in our community, we got a lot of people that's Prince Hall. We got a lot of people that's alphas and deltas and AKAs, and they just and they have these organizations for a reason. But when we start talking about a one world government, when we talk about a cashless society, we're talking about some stuff inside this book. Just one book we got here, Pastor Majors. Ernest, you hear me? This one book we got here. 5% lessons don't talk about no one world government. Can't buy or sell. Listen, supreme wisdom ain't talking about that right there. Hadith ain't talking about that right there. It ain't but one book talking about that, and then people want to know why there's so much banging on this book, Rome. They banging on this book. They banging on this book for a reason. They ain't banging on Quran like that. They ain't banging on nothing else. Look at the conscious community. Look at these people out here. They're not banging on nothing else but that book. And we got to explain certain things. We can't be playing with that book, talking about touch your neighbor. We can't be playing with this book right now. We ain't in the time for playing with the book. It's the time to lay into the book and get an understanding of what we're to do right now. I like what the pastor said. He said spiritual wisdom and practical wisdom. Right now, I'm going to ask that same, come on, Pastor. Maybe. Matter of fact, where Rev C at? Listen, right now, stay at home or in the name of the Lord, gather together, everybody, because Resurrection Sunday coming. Ain't going to be no Easter eggs like a lot of you folk love them. Ain't going to be none of that stuff. So the show ain't going to go on like planned. What is wisdom saying? What is wisdom saying right now? Should you gather? Is that practical? The other lady dropped the box and the sister said, come here and give me a hug. She said, no, we have to stay away from each other. She said, you don't really love the Most High. You don't really love God because you worried about a mask and you worried about the 6 feet. Real children of God, where Rev C at? Real children of God ain't worried about none of that stuff. I'm going to park right here for a minute because I see some folk here. Where Miss Being a man? Now I'm going to start harassing y'all. Now I'm going to start harassing. What do y'all have to say about that right there? Because a lot of times it was the ignorant folk in Europe, that Catholic church, that's like I'm saying, I'm watching the Catholic church and you Protestants, y'all right behind them. Y'all running neck and neck with some of that ignorance. Because I'm looking at the comments, I'm getting emails, I'm looking at the videos, and they got y'all got some strange stuff that y'all running around here saying. Y'all running around here saying some strange stuff. I can't lie. And is it ignorance in the name of the Lord? I'm right here. All right, I'm waiting for Rev C. I'm waiting for Rev C. I want to see what he got to say. Rome, what do you got to say? Come on, Ernest. Come on, man. Help me out with this right here. Help me out with this, because this is some serious stuff. And some people, one of the problems is in Christianity. I know people are going to say, well, it's wrong. And, one of the major things that people got with me is the banging on the church. You don't have to. I'm going to see the answer before I go any further. You don't have to. We need healthy, hygienic doctrine. Healthy doctrine will kill a cult, will kill the nonsense, and then maybe I'll get into the that other. It was a breakaway from the Nation of Islam. It was a documentary on that. But part of the problem is you don't have to listen to the pastor for everything. Pastor can't tell you about cleaning up your credit. Pastor can't tell you about everything. Part of the problem is folk been running around here listening to pastor for everything. These folk running around here, I know ain't nothing wrong with death, but I'm telling you, these folk running around here and they're telling you unwise stuff. There's a wisdom that the scientists are giving you plain and simple. A, B, C, and D. If the scientists say A, B, C, and D, oh no, I can't trust the Center for Disease. Them white folk over there. I'm not dealing with that right there. This crazy, ignorant nonsense. This religious, ignorant nonsense. Religion is a problem. Oh Lord, that slipped out right there. That slipped out right there. All right, I might have to take that back right there. Matter of fact, I ain't even dealing with them folk. I ain't got to backpedal no more. Religion is a problem. And these stumpers are dangerous. Y'all hear me? Thumpers down throughout time. The thumpers have been a problem. That's the ignorant thumpers, not those that are walking in that spiritual wisdom and understanding. Then we're going to get into some other questions when we deal with the religion. Because a lot of people don't like a big church. All these churches are no good and all of this stuff is no good. All right, let me get on that church thing for a minute. R.A. Vernon, he wrote a book, Size Matter. Big church, small church. Miss B, big church. Hold on, this is for you, Miss B. So you missed that other question. Big church or small church? He wrote a book, Size Matter, talking about the size of different churches. And already, I think that was when he was working on his degree. He said that a big church can do more. A lot of times people start laying into Acts and 3,000 were added and 5,000 were added. And they say mega churches are the thing. Other people saying, man, mega churches is falling by the wayside. Thank you. He said religion is a disease. Now I want Miss B to answer that. Big church, small church. Watch Ref C butt in here on this one. Because I'm looking and I'm riding. A lot of people say, listen, oh, and this, you know, I get comments like this. Well, you see on the corner, you see a church on every corner. I'm in New York. So y'all know we got churches all up and down the avenue, Fulton Street, all in the Bronx. We got churches all over. And they say, all you see is a church and a liquor store in every corner. So wow, I tell them, I'm gonna tell them, listen, either people gonna pray their problems away, or they're gonna drink their problems away. And we can add the dope spot in there too, because dope spots are all over the place. They're gonna do one or the other. They're gonna go in one or the other direction because life is hard and people are looking to understand certain things. Some people want to escape and they're gonna, do the drinking and do the drugging and do whatever. Other people, they're on a different level. They say, listen, what's the chief end of man? Let me get some Bible people in here to chat. Where I get that from? What is the chief end of man? What is the purpose? What is the purpose of man? We going back to that church size, this religion and this madness in the midst of this. Because if we listen to the wrong people, especially with viruses, pestilence in the land, we're going to die if we're moving in ignorance. This is a serious time, 1 million people on the planet. We got 245,000 of them right here, right up here, 245,000. That's a lot. If it's 1 million on the whole planet, 245, we got a quarter. We got a quarter of them right here. All right, let me try to read some of this stuff. In our churches, we can't do 6 feet. No, wait a minute. I think this other pastor right here, if I'm correct, the pastor, I seen his video and they pulled some chairs. That was you, Pastor Majors, right? And you pulled some chairs out and y'all were separate and sitting down. I can tell y'all one thing right now. They said Zoom, when we start dealing with Zoom, the CEO of Zoom had to get on the news. They said, we're gonna deal with these security issues. A bunch of these folk, a whole bunch of folk, all of a sudden, all you religious folk done stepped on over, y'all and slid on over to Zoom. They think it's gonna crash. They think it's security problems with hackers because so many people, he said 10 million people. 10 million people with Zoom. How y'all gonna do Resurrection Sunday? How y'all gonna do the Passover? Come on, Johnson, help me out. I'll take the church where the Spirit of God is and the word is being taught. Big or small, he'll take that. When people trying to push a mega church, you got to understand the majority of churches in the early time. Thank you. Jesus had 12 church members, case closed. Thank you. Listen, I have a newfound respect for these smaller churches. And most churches were in homes before, so now you'll see them in a little storefront. We'll remodel a Chinese restaurant. We'll remodel a little other restaurant, a laundry or something that went out of business, and just get in there and it's 50, 80 people, 35 people. And that was a mega church from back in the days in one person's house. They all got together in Mark and them house, which seemed to be a bigger house. Marry a woman with a little bit of means. I'm talking about John Mark now. They would gather in that house. They were all there praying when Peter was locked up. We got to understand and stop trying to fit stuff in the book that's not in the book, or just look at it from a wider perspective. And for some readers and thumpers can't do that. There's a lot of thumpers that don't have a practical side of things. Everything is spiritual, spiritual, spiritual. That's a problem. All right, let me try to read some of these comments out here. We have, the chat. We have in 2 services. Okay, you have to split the services because you can't have that many people, minimizing each service to 40 minutes. I like that. Y'all heard that, Rome? There's never supposed to be a schism between the church and the community in regards to resources. It's not supposed to be. R.A. Vernon argued that a big church can automatically do more. Y'all know he's out there in Ohio. Y'all know they buying cars for people. They buying, he was doing construction before. They flipping houses. They giving members houses. They doing some stuff. They spending some money. But there's plenty of people that's counting the church money. So whilst they counting them, you got to know what community is talking. Who's this conscious community? What y'all doing? So we got to make sure we always put that out there. Not to be controversial, but where I live, there are several small churches that are plants from bigger churches. They all answer the same grand man. Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord, I used to like Miss B. She stud. A lot of people are going back to the house church. A lot of people are going back smaller. A lot of people are saying, listen, I was doing that mega church thing because everybody was going over there, was jumping. I like the choir, I like the this, I like the that, but they felt empty going in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8,000 people. They felt empty. They want to go back to what's smaller. Do you think that that's a move right there, Miss B, that people want to go back to what's smaller? Or do you think right now, Rev C, listen to this, Rev C, or you think right now, Ron, the Most High is dismantling, breaking down, or denominations altogether? That's that's a fair question. And then when people flying above denominations and they mingling and they dealing with other people, they're upset. Oh, we've been 100, we've been all these years in our annual convention, and some people worship their denomination and don't have a clear understanding of the kingdom. All of this stuff is problems. Somebody said Israel was a mega church spread all out when they got together, for the Passover and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, Israel was a nation that believed on the Most High. So what do y'all think about that? All of these things are problems. All of these are things that have to be looked at. These are things that have to be looked at, and a lot of times that's like I said, that people can get so caught up onto the banging, they can get caught up into that banging on the, banging for this and banging for that, and that's what I can say. Listen, I can say a lot of this, especially them lower ranking cronies, the urban apologetic community, a good bit of it has turned into banging. Gang banging like everything else. Somebody else said, so it don't make no difference. Them Israelites been banging on us, so now we gonna bang back on them. It's our turn to bang now. You falling into the same mindset as the Klan. You see that? Like I said, black Hebrew Israelism, the same mindset. People gotta be careful that they don't fall into the same mindset as the enemy. Oh, them cops over there, the cops doing this, the cops doing that, now we a gang over here doing the same thing. Then we get in trouble. We worried about the cops lying when we out here, we doing everything underneath the sun. Come on, people got to be able to look at themselves and understand some stuff. My father was a mega church preacher, and when the politics money came into the big church system, he ended his life and career in a smaller church. Ended up walking away. Y'all hear that? And then my man and them other people, they upset when I say it's politics. You don't bring out certain things. Those are the complaints. Those are the complaints. Besides that, Barina put that on. We'll put that PayPal out there. And it's so funny because Dr. Eric Mason, every time y'all see me on a video with Eric Mason, go run tell him Mason I said that. Every time y'all see me on a video with Eric Mason, he paid me $250 every video. He put that money straight on that PayPal. Every video you see me with him in it, that I'm up there, unless when I get him live on my thing. But every video see me, him, and Pastor Jerome or whatever sitting down, they paid me for that. They paid me into PayPal. Now all of a sudden I don't have a 501. Now all of a sudden this and that, and people are real funny. We got to be careful. We got to be careful, and that control of them thumpers. We not doing it. Y'all can't control. Y'all got to be careful. Y'all got to be careful. I don't even want to get into the rest of the money. I don't want to, saying when we start talking about the other money and the other brother wanted and Pastor Major, you were witness. You hit me on the phone. You said, hook it up. Pastor Kelly wanted to debate. Turn around and what to do and what the other master teacher, what the other horseman did. He said, I want 1,000. I turn around and I hit the bishop. I said, yo, he want 1,000 to debate the moderates. He said, so what? He got to get that money. Come on, man. Come on. I don't even want to get into the whole thing. I don't want to get into the whole thing. It's a lot of politics, who can get money and who can't get money. Now I need a 501. Now you need a nonprofit. Now you need to listen. That maybe the 501 maybe the 501 is a church problem right now. I ain't saying it is. I'm just saying maybe. You hear me, Mello? Maybe. I'm just throwing some stuff out there. We gotta look at a lot of stuff. We got to look at a lot of stuff. And then even when we start talking about, that's like I think teaching people and discussing secret societies and stuff like that is important. Why? Because a lot of these people are down with secret societies, and they're moving the visual church. They're moving them in a certain direction. You hear me, Perry? A lot of other brothers say, well, Berean, to have a big church, you got to be a Freemason. I don't know that. I don't know that to be true. But people do rub shoulders with people, and things are connected. Things are connected, plain and simple. What do you mean they're connected? A lot of pastors, and they feel it's rightfully so, should be connected with the police chief, with certain people to make moves. It's politics in church. It's politics and what's being preached and what's not being preached. Politics and play a role in all of that stuff. Even in a smaller organization, even in a smaller church, this is what it is that offends people. But I gotta keep it 100. Who preach? Who get to touch that microphone? Is politics. Who's getting ordained? Is politics behind that? Are you submitting? Are you a yes man? Most of the time, it's yes men that's coming up underneath that authority. Great question, Rome. Lots and lots of good info to dig up with that question. What did he say? I can't miss. I missed. I'm gonna have to go back on that. Now, who said this? Now, listen, who this troublemaker right here? Somebody says, I love church folk, but I got the but I love church folk, but I got the program of the church. A lot of people, listen, y'all can say what y'all want. A lot of people running around here, they and if I'm apologist, I'm gonna have to tell y'all something. If you don't love the church, you don't love God. And you, once you get an organization like you had in Europe, once you get an organization like that Catholic Church was running amok. Y'all know they was killing to be monsignors and bishops and the Pope and all of that. It was just like politics. They were assassinating, they were poisoning people in Europe. The landlords, they were ruling the land and taxing the people, and the church drove them folk crazy. And then the secret society, other people said, no, we gotta do something. We gotta do something. And then they want to start killing them, they want to start terrorizing them. So we got to be careful that that stuff ain't happening again. That stuff ain't happening right here. I'm gonna put that on that same PayPal. That same PayPal that Eric Mason used, I'm putting that PayPal right there. If y'all wanna put a buck in there. But all of a sudden I become an enemy because I want to tell the whole truth. We gotta swing the sword both ways. I gotta say, sit down, listen, we gotta relax, y'all. We just can't lump everybody together. Why is that? Because I believe we're in a season. Good to see you, Taylor. We're in a season where people are understanding the spirituality is a little deeper than my gang, your gang. Kojic is a gang for a lot of people. Meet each other on the job. Oh yeah, I grew up Kojic. I grew up. Automatically, they look at them two over there. Look at them three over there. Like Kojic is the best thing since sliced bread. And that's not to bang on them. That's not to bang on y'all now. You Kojic. If I got any Kojic people in here. But Brent is a problem because I'm running around here and I'm shouting out and I'm saying and I'm shouting out my oneness Pentecostal folk and saying, listen, all of y'all can't be going to hell, no matter what the thumpers say. And there's been arguments on these doctrines and understanding the nature of Christ. And some people say, no, well, if you do that, you're trying to tell them that they're right and exact. I'm not trying to tell them that they're right and exact because we view things differently. Nobody's playing with major doctrines in the ring. They just view Christ, not saying they view Christ as a lesser being, or some people would say modalism. Put that inside there. Put that inside there. See where them theologians at. Put that inside there. God was operating in the Old Testament and Christ now and the Holy Spirit operating. It's just the way they explaining it differently. But come on. Then my homegirl sent me something. Oh, them Trinitarians this, them Trinitarians that. Let me tell y'all something. He said, Kojic is his peeps. Let me tell y'all something else. Because words are not used, I don't like when I get ignorant folk around me. Oh, that's that white man stuff you coming with. I'm talking to them. I'm trying to talk to them other ignorant folk. He running around here talking about that's that white man stuff. Oh, you talking about hermeneutic? That's white man words. Listen, you speak what you just said was a white man language. You just spoke to me. We listen. Something don't have to be in the book to have. Thank you, John. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Rev C must have fell asleep. Um, it don't have to be in there to explain a thing. The word Bible is not in the Bible. My homegirl said, "Well, that's why I don't use Bible. I call it the Holy Scriptures." And some people want to play that game. They want to go back to everything. But there's terms that can be used to describe a thing. When we talk about the canon already existed before that term was used. That term came later on. And is and that's how come I said it's good to have certain teachers, because some stuff we just gotta put out there, and we just gotta explain it. Now, when we start dealing with the New World Order and we start dealing with the secret societies and we start dealing with all of that stuff, all of this stuff is going to play a major role. Y'all heard me saying videos and stuff before. A lot of what Alice Bailey and them, a lot of what Blavatsky and them taught was the occult, was the secret doctrine. Um, Blavatsky saying her work, her lead beater and all of them, they said, listen, the secret occult doctrine have always been in the mysteries. And the mysteries are what people would call like old school Freemasonry back in Kemet, the secrets, being sworn in. Some people like Dr. Ben would argue it was just a university, and some people would study the stars, and some people would study the overflowing of the Nile River. Like if you go to Yale today, you have some scientists, you have mathematicians, you have sociologists, you have different people. They just got some different people that's studying different things, and that was part of the mysteries. But the main thing in the mystery was to develop man's spirit into Superman, into Godhood, to make us back one with the universe. What Ernest said, the Trinity is laid out in the Bible. It don't come from the Catholic Church, period. It don't come from the Catholic Church. But some people don't like that word. So when we start dealing with these secret societies and stuff, everybody's trying to develop into their higher selves. But to move us forward, there's a lot of good, well-meaning people. They say we have to destroy all religions. All religions have to be destroyed so we can move forward as a spiritual people with Christ and without Jesus. I wonder if Mr. B heard what I just said. They said with Christ and without Jesus. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Rome, you folk right there in Rome, you folk in the Vatican, y'all moving towards this too. Y'all ain't worried about Mary, the Pope, and everybody. They moving. Listen, they showing you through the signs and the symbols. They showing y'all. Listen, we all down together. The Pope, trust me, the Pope is feeling the Dalai Lama hard. They don't care about that because they got to all bring everybody together. So they're gonna take y'all to a certain level. They're gonna bring y'all to a certain level because we all are just naturally evolving now. Naturally evolving. We're living in the time where the mystics are coming forth, where the Catholics are coming forth, and they're going to show you who they are through what they do. So now what they're gonna do, they're gonna dismantle doctrine. They're going, oh, they don't have a problem dismantling Mary, dismantling who Christ is, dismantling heaven and hell. And they don't got no problem dismantling that because they're going to be one of the major forces. Them and the secret doctrine going to be one of the major forces that's pushing everybody towards a new world order. Before we get into the cashless society, before we get into all of that, that's their job spiritually to move with people, but you got to get their mindset a certain place. That's how come who you listen to is important. You got to get their mindset in a certain place. So slowly, a lot of these people, y'all will be surprised how cults are so involved with with seminaries. Oh no, we can't trust this. We can't trust that. They got to slowly dismantle and pull the authority of it. They got to slowly dismantle it and do certain things. And then they can introduce the other stuff. Well, if I can't really believe that, should I believe this? And that's where the doubt comes in, because that's how the occult doctrine started. Y'all see this, y'all see the occult interpretation behind hermeneutic, behind Genesis and the serpent. He came with a wisdom. He came with a wisdom. It's a serpent. Now, what is the serpent occult wisdom? What is that wisdom? This is the problem. These are problems. And do we see that wisdom in multiple religions, multiple esoteric orders? And do we see it now leaking through leaders like in the Catholic Church? Do we see it leaking through other occultist leaders and people that follow occultists? Oprah Winfrey follows the occult doctrine, the Christ consciousness doctrine, and the people that we look up to. Because remember, back in the days, a lot of people, if you listen to Mike Eyes and them, they said Israel and them, even everybody thought that the stars were angels or deities or spirits. And that's how when you see certain things in Revelation about the stars, they want to connect them, and so a lot of people in the ancient world in Levant connected on stars and different things in the heavens with deities, with living bodies. Grace and peace. Good to see you, Harris, with living bodies. So now we got a problem because I'm going to come out here, different people are going to come out here, Roman. We're going to start, we got to discuss the occult doctrine. Oh, everything, all apologetics got to lead back to the, no. Somebody got to bring this out. So when people see it, they're going to know what they're dealing with. They're like, oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. Somebody saying Berean hating on seminary because he doesn't. Yeah, you see that? And it's not all, but the majority of these seminaries out here, they teaching a whole nother thing, the chat. They teaching a whole nother thing. Real Christians read for themselves and are taught correctly, not emotionally. But you know, we've been dealing with emotions for a long time. We've been dealing with that. And that's another question. There's a move. Good to see you, Watcher. There's a move right now. I don't care what nobody say. There's a move to keep a lot of people and children of the Most High ignorant. Keep you locked into that emotionalism. And a lot of this stuff is right up in that black church. Now y'all can run tell them I said that. You folk want to keep these folk touching each other and not thinking. Oh, you don't need to know all of this stuff. It's too much information boggling down our minds. Listen, you can say what you want. If society is learning more and we're in the age of information and everybody got a computer, you better know what you're talking about, Rome. And you're going to be tested on other religion, other belief systems. People are going to ask you things. So to witness your game got to step up. Your knowledge game spiritually, and it's spiritualism, but your knowledge game got to step up. You got to step up in what you know, and this is just how it is. And people are spending so much time on TV, spending so much time at TV, and then this virus hit, something hit like this, the whole church shook. Everybody shook. They don't know what's what. The book already said this was coming. How you shocked, chat? And the book already told us this was coming. Right there in that book, Hollywood knew this stuff was coming. They done dropped movies talking about this. That's how I tell y'all they believe new. Them occultists, they believe the book. Oh, in every secret order, they got that book open. I don't know nobody that don't have that book. They may read it differently, but they believe that book more than a lot of people that's running up in church every single Sunday. That's how come the amount of times you in church don't impress me. Tell them I said that. Because they want to try to act like some of y'all that's not locked in with a congregation when Rich says 2 or 3 are gathered. Oh, well, no. Well, you still got to be up in the building. You got to come and do it the way. Listen. You got to remember, these folk don't want to follow the whole book. Contagion. Thank you, Miss B. Remember, these are the folk that don't want to deny the Christmas. They don't even want to tell y'all that the Christmas tree ain't right and exact. Not saying nobody going to heaven and hell with it, but just say what it is. They can't even, if they can't say something simple like that, what truth, what deep truth do you think they get ready to give y'all out the book? That's how come we ask, is it beneficial? Is it beneficial for some of these pastors to keep y'all as babies? To keep people sipping on that milk, keep people dependent on them? Is that why they're trying to get y'all not to, oh, don't worry about no dreams and visions, and God ain't speaking like that no more, when the books say the opposite? Thank you, Ernest. Outbreak 2. Matter of fact, if y'all locked in, y'all need to see Outbreak and Contagion. So these are stuff that we got to look at. Well, wait a minute. They're showing enough. You ain't lying about that. These people doing some opposite stuff. But we trained, we train not to question the past. We train not to question leadership. We train not to question. Listen, these people out here, they question the police, they question the judge, they question the people in authority. Who's the pastor not to be questioned? Pharisees question Jesus. What are we working with? And in our neighborhood, we've been respecting our spiritual authority and stuff like that. But it's just a new day. It's just a new season. People are doing some stuff, and there's some people that's mad about it. Not point to no one person. You could say what you want. The Pharisees, they ain't know the real move, but they knew the book. They were the authorities of the time. Black folk, not Israel, but Christmas is biblical. Oh, thank you. And this is a problem. So they could be the ones that's doing the most fighting. They could be the enemy. And not be, can you be, matter of fact, we're telling them, where them sharp folk at? Can the enemy use you and you don't even know you're being used? Rome, where Ernest at? Can the enemy use you? Because y'all trying to act like y'all so deep. Oh, no. Oh, I know the enemy when the enemy coming. What about when the enemy's wrapped up in with a collar on? What about when the enemy got a title of bishop or pastor? I'm gonna leave that one alone right there, because they're gonna be like, you getting off of the New World Order. All of this stuff is part of the New World Order. The New World Order is gonna be steeped in religion. It's one religion. It's one spirituality. So now I gotta look at the common thread. What's the common thread that all of them talking about? We are gods. That was on TBN. Like I said, it came in through Copeland and them Freemasons. I'm sorry, not blaming all Freemasons, but y'all can say what y'all want. Copeland and some of them TBN people, they were Freemasons. Oh, so now y'all running around here telling us that we all gods. So what's the other TBN, Paul Crouch? And now y'all running around here telling us we all gods, right? And then on the other side, it's the same doctrine as Clarence 13X. So wait a minute, that's the same doctrine. We can trace this back to multiple religions, multiple spiritual systems. We could trace it all back. We could trace it to degrees in the lodge, in appendix body, and Scottish Rite, the higher degrees. We can trace this all back. That's before they move over and they start dealing with coming across the burning sands, and they start dealing with that Quran. We got to talk about that. All of this stuff can be traced back to that tree. So now we got beef. Wait a minute, the church people and the community, all of them connected together. This is all part of the New World Order. Everybody got to play their role. Everybody got to get in where they fit in. And there's a people that's reading, there's a people that's thinking, there's a people that's like, hold on, wait a minute. Let's try to figure this out. Of course, the quickest way to get somebody is when when it's in your circle, when it's in what you into. So, you feel safety in the arms of the church. Everything is beautiful in the church. Those outsiders are the devil. Everybody outside of the church doors are the devil. Everybody outside of the denomination, them the devils right there. And that's a problem, because the devil be sitting right with you in the pew. Devil be right up there in that choir. Devil right in the building. What demon told y'all? Where Rush at? What demon told you? Good to see you. What demon told y'all the devil and God can't be in the same place at the same time? They start teaching lies to open you up to the deception. So if you don't think the devil could be in the church, contradicting the book once again, forget the Christmas tree and everything right now. And Jesus was teaching in the temple, and it was a man with an unclean spirit. Demons in the church. When light and darkness is together. So when Christ came on the scene, that's when the demons start really running, really acting crazy and start hollering out. But apparently he'd been coming to synagogue and chilling in there. And y'all running around said the one thing I don't want to do, I don't want y'all to fool me no more. Then if we get together, start comparing notes, and we start talking, be like, wait a minute. And then start looking in the manual and be like, the book don't even really say that. So now we got some people that's really digging in the book and looking in the book, and y'all want to make them devils. Oh, you got to be, these folks slick out here. Oh, these folks slick out here. Black Boule, we Black Boule, a lot of them been Prince Hall. A lot of them is alphas. A lot of them, this is just what it is and what it is. They pick when people are dealing with the New World Order, when you got occultists, they pick from certain organizations. That's how come you have the Moli and the European lodges. They have certain organizations like the OES. They have certain organizations for people to start them off from young, to keep a secret, to start them off from young so they can run in the pack. Some people say it'll start as young as the Boy Scouts. And the secret societies had a hand in that. And they said, listen, we gotta give some people some stuff to bond. And then the occultists would start picking people from that. They say clearly Skull and Bones in them, they would pick people, they would hand choose certain people. You got to be trained in the occult. You got to be trained to listen. And when we start dealing with the Boule, listen, we the middlemen. Y'all are rulers. We're going to keep these folk under control. We're going to do A, B, C, and D. And they live on a higher level. The Boule, they live on a higher level because it's their job to keep the other folk, listen, y'all, I'm going to calm them down. Y'all done went and shot these, listen, the whole city in an uproar. These people get ready to go crazy. They're going to send some Boule. They're going to send some people out there. Let me calm the people down and tell them everything going to be okay. A few months later, it's more shooting. I'll go back out there and calm the people down. Boule ain't for overthrowing the government. They ain't for overthrowing the structure. And there's a structure that's been in the church, just like in the streets, just like in politics, just like on the block, just like in prison. There's a structure. We got to talk about that structure. Now, when you start exposing the structure, this is where the beef is at. Pastor Major, this is where the beef is at. Expose the works of darkness. The Manchurian candidate in the church. Unbelievable. Hey, listen, how can I kick people out of here? I got to get him out of here right now. But he's right. See, now all of these things are problems right here. All of these things are problems right here. Now, when we start seeing it and we start calling certain things out because people are sick, and you can say what you want, there's a lot of people that's in the wilderness. There's a lot of people that stirred, and they like it's a righteous stirring. This such thing as a righteous disgust. Could be like, man, I am done. This ain't making no sense right here. And then we'll talk about crazy later. I won't talk about the occult, but we'll talk about crazy later because everybody got a crazy side. Sometimes you could be in church so long, you just good at hiding it. You just good at hiding. Matter of fact, where Rush at? Let me ask you. Listen, Wanda. Let me ask him. Are you? I'm gonna leave y'all alone about that deliverance. Do everybody get delivered from everything? I'm just throwing that out there. I'm gonna leave that alone. We're going back to New World Order. We're going back to New World Order, and we got to study these New World Orders. We got to study these secret societies and how they how they were influential in establishing Europe and dismantling Africa. Cecil Rhodes and all these folk. There's a lot of folk running around here. They've established certain things. Because one thing about them that I've learned dealing with a lot of people in the occult, one thing about them, they think about the future. So they think of the future. What can I do? What type of society can what can I establish right now through these teachings? And then when you get other people like, what's the name? Mello, I think you sent me that. He said, Noble Drali, come from Allah. Come from Allah. You come from Allah with a whole bunch of Masonic stuff. Come from Allah with these teachings to build man up, to build us up as a people, to build us up as a nation. We got to talk about cult and mind control when we're dealing with church, when we're dealing with religion, cult, mind control, fake news, how we can program people. Religion is programming. We're going to program these people to believe this. Don't think ain't no programming in the Nation of Islam. Oh, no, I know these folk going to get offended right now. Don't think ain't no programming in the ISUPK. Don't think ain't no programming up in Kojak. I'm gonna just, like, matter of fact, I'm gonna leave that right there. This is stuff that we got to look at. I think now that I got this thing jumping, I think I do believe that we're able to pull up those. I do believe that we're able to pull up those slides, and I think later on we're gonna have to get on that. But like I said, we're gonna go in. Matter of fact, 12 o'clock. I think Bishop, the Apostle, he doing something. He doing something. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, y'all finna get aggravated with me. I'm finna, like I said, I'm messing around. I'm gonna call. I call Dante today. I call that brother today. I mess around. I call that brother Ron Dalton today, and get up on here. Let people talk. Let people expand them. Let people see what's what. Bring it all out. Bring it out. I put it on the table. Everything is coming out right now. Everything is coming out right now. But at the same time, I want people to look out for that New World Order because it's in the book. I didn't even crack the book open yet. Like I said, we got to talk before we even get to the book. And the book tells us about all this. The book is breaking down all of this. That's how I say it's no other book. Y'all know they can play games if they want to. They ain't finna play with me. There ain't no other book. I ain't finna listen. I ain't listen to sign that. None of them fools talking about that book. Ain't no other book that's breaking this thing down. Oh yeah, Mello. Yeah, Mello. I'm good right now. I'm good right now. We don't expect it all, but we needed to get out here and get this information out. So we just broke down and be like, Lord, we're gonna step out here and get this computer. And, it's gonna work out. Couldn't do everything on the cell phone. Oh, shout out to Pastor to Rose too. Let me get them on. Like I said, we can be talking about them dreams, vision. Shout out to all my Patreon people. Shout out to Charles. I don't know what Charles. Charles probably at work. A bunch of people not ain't I think they able to get on. But we gotta in the midst of all of this stuff that's going on in the country, we gotta know a couple of things. One, what is the Most High God saying? Two, between the news and messing around with your spirituality, it's easy to break down. Good to see you, Rodney. It's easy to break down. So I gotta ask y'all, how are y'all holding up? How you holding up, Rodney? How are y'all holding up? Like I said, we started off just shouting out the doctors and the nurses, shouting out the scientists, those people that's on the front line. Shout out to everybody working in Popeyes. Shout out to everybody delivering them that Uber Eats. I'm telling you, it's not a game out here right now. It's not a game out here right now. He said, "What's the Patreon name?" I think I'm Patreon Brand TV. I don't know what's that what you call it. What's that Patreon thing? Um, Miss B, somebody in here that's on the Patreon. Now that's the other part I got to get. That's the part that I got to get. I got to get down packed. I'm trying to work on that. And we're going to talk about when we start dealing with, like I said, this whole new world order and this spirituality, because there's two. Ron Moses, shout out to Ron Moses. Ron Moses always come up in here, Rome, Miss B, y'all already know he coming up in here and he talking to order Melchizedek. So we're gonna have to get into that. When we start talking about the order Melchizedek, we got a Melchizedek order that's coming down. They talk about the Canaanites. The Canaanite and there's some degrees. There's some degrees in the lodge that they dealing with some of them doctrines. But Moses too. Everything is a copy of. Like you got a Bible, you got a satanic Bible. It's two of them when we start dealing with that order Melchizedek. It's an occult order Melchizedek, but it is an order of Melchizedek in the sense that when Christ came on the scene, who was Melchizedek? When Christ came on the scene before Israel existed, God was at work. So when people start talking about kings and priests, we got to start understanding that thing. I don't even know where Rob Moses is at, but I know he's going to bring it up, and we're going to have to get into that too. But I think there's some people that's confused because the New World Order got to order Melchizedek. When we start dealing with the New World Order, when we start dealing with this caste society, when we start dealing with a whole bunch of this stuff, we got to understand that a forerunner is going to come. Like John the Baptist was a forerunner for Christ, a forerunner to the Antichrist is going to come. It's going to be signs and wonders. It's going to be the exact same thing like the ministry of Christ. It's going to be the same exact thing. So like I was saying, when we start talking about we got a Bible, they got a Bible too. We got to understand there's two sides to this thing. There's two sides to this thing, and the occult have the same thing. I always go back to that bootleg Louis bag. That Fendi purse, I always go back there. It looks like the same thing. And if people don't got their wisdom up, if people don't have their knowledge up, it's easy to fall in that other thing. We've been jumping and dancing so long, we could have took on another spirit. We could maybe a pagan spirit. Where other do that right now? Can a spirit jump on you? That's a fair question, right there. Can a spirit jump on you? Because maybe these folk been jumping and dancing and rolling so much, because we got a lot of that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we got to remember, in Haiti, they dancing and rolling too till the spirit get in them. Y'all been saying, "Oh, that's when the spirit get on me." So y'all get in the car, y'all cussing folk out and everything, but y'all bumping into each other, speaking in tongues and rolling on the ground because the spirit jumped on you. Come on, Russ, don't laugh right now. They said the spirit jumped. So my thing is, can religion cause a spirit to jump on you? Do some church folk, some religion folk got a spirit? That's a fair question to ask if y'all believe in spirits. Most traditionals, most traditions on the planet believe in a spiritual world. Angels, and almost every religion got angels. That's the world. One of the top selling books about 8-9 years ago. One of the top selling books was on angels and spirits and coming in spirit contact with angel beings and ascended masters and all of this other stuff. But my thing is, can these folk been jumping so much that a spirit done jumped on them? So when you point stuff out in the book and you tell them this is the book, they looking right at you saying that ain't the book. Or I ain't worried about that. Or they got a long story to why they don't have to follow what they doing in the book and why we doing what we doing. And we can point to what they doing. We straight pointing to pagan. We straight pointing to Europe. We straight pointing to other stuff up in the mountains. We straight pointing to other stuff. This could be a problem. This could be a problem. Let me see. I got a if what you call is up, y'all can hit me in that thing. Let me read some of these comments. And so before, it's like I said, we're gonna jump back on at 12 o'clock, but this is something that we got to look at now. This is something that we gotta look at. This is something that we gotta deal with. Can a spirit be on me? Ain't no pastor, ain't no church, but can a spirit, what spirit is in the house? What spirit is on that church? What spirit is in this building? What spirit is on that person? What spirit is at work? We got to look at that. I think sometimes we could be playing with religion too long. We could become two people. Of course, people got stuff that they're dealing with that they're struggling with, but we could really become two people. We're a role. I'm in the pastor, and I'm jumping up and down, and I'm doing this and that in the church, and I get home, and I'm just a out of control fool, terrorizing them kids, and they're terrorizing them out, just terrorizing. These things can happen. When that happened, what spirit is this? And we got to all ask ourselves that about us, about the institution, about the system that we're following, because this new world order is a Christian order. It's got Christianity in it. It got a bunch of Christian terms, and then that's another thing I want to warn people. Listen, y'all can say what the occult uses. That's one thing. That's one thing that make the occult so dangerous. They use the same terms on a higher level. Oh yeah, I believe in the resurrection. Oh, they'll look at you and smile, and you be, oh yeah, and he got up, and they'll get up there and preach, and he got up, and y'all don't know they talking about something totally different from y'all. So they know how to move in and out. They know how to weave, and they know how to discuss certain things right around y'all. And it's only a few people that go, he a little deeper with that. But according to them, listen to the terminology. It's for those that has an ear. You hear me, Mello? Oh, they'll teach the whole doctrine from your book. And that's how come we know that the occult doctrine is not steeped in TBN and steeped in the Word Channel. And then we got these fools running around here. Then we got these, Father, Lord, forgive me. Somebody hit me today. Now, y'all don't, those are my peeps over there, but somebody hit me today and we need to buy them running around here selling some more. What kind of spirit? We got to ask where it come from. We got to ask where it come from. Then they selling y'all, not even monies. They selling y'all the Ark of the Covenant, selling y'all prayer shawls, $200, $300. They selling y'all oil. They selling y'all this, they selling y'all magic. This is hocus pocus. This is hocus pocus, but that's a master prophet that opened up the heavens, and I gave my seed, and listen, everything that they'll do is coming from the book. Everything they do is coming from the book, which is all up in the church. They coming from the book. Occultists reading, like I said, occultists, people studying higher orders of Freemasons. They've been in the church. They've been leading the people. So if this the spirit been leading the people, well, what do you expect if this is the spirit coming from the podium? If this is the spirit that's coming on the people, what y'all expect? What y'all think's gonna happen? You speaking over them, you speaking spells over them, you speaking. Eventually, they're gonna get hypnotized. They're gonna fall under. Eventually, they're gonna fall under. And a lot of us grew up around this stuff, not knowing what's what. These are all problems here. So if they're not giving you the great pumpkin, if they don't have to give you roots in the sense that I'm gonna give you this rabbit's foot. Because y'all, grandmama and them, they had some stuff too. They went to church, but they had a rabbit's foot. What's that other thing they used to wear around? And that girl said, I went to Panama and got this. If somebody put a spell on me, it's gonna break. It was a gold chain with a little round brown thing. It said it's gonna break, so I'll know somebody put a spell on me. Listen, these folk are trying to give you stuff and looking like it's the Bible. You got to put this prayer shawl on, and they spooking y'all out with some of this stuff. And they making merchandise off of y'all with some of this stuff and still ain't getting you in the book. And still got you doing other stuff. So you blowing that show for, you wrapped up with this. Mojo, thank you, Rush. And you wrapped up with this stuff now. You got that prayer shawl. I see the prayer shawl in the Bible. I see the oil in the Bible. And you got all of this stuff, and and it's another spirit using the same stuff. This is where the beef is at, using the same stuff. So you figure, this is a prayer shawl. Wait a minute. This is a cross. It's all coming from the book. It's close to the book, but it ain't in. Oh, I'm getting up out of here. I'm done. No, listen, my coffee ran out. Listen, I don't even know if I'm gonna pull them slides up, but I'm definitely going in with my Patreon people. I found out how to record. I found how to get the recordings up and how to drop them inside there so y'all can watch. Because I know y'all been like, I've been with Berean for 2-3 months. I don't know what he got going on. He just got him a Mac back after all of this time. Y'all pray for us, because I'm telling you, when we start talking about give us this day our daily bread, we worried about this. We day by day. I don't care what them folks telling y'all. Don't let them folks tell y'all right now, Brady ain't got no car. Brady ain't had a car going in 3 years. Please. These folks try to have it like people running around here living the good life. I'm gonna put that link in there, and I want to just talk to y'all about some documentaries and some other stuff. I'm gonna try to see if I can read some of these comments before we get up out of here. But I want y'all to remember something. Like I said, we're gonna remember we got to remember Those workers, the nurses, the doctors, we got to remember them, and we got to remember that we living in a serious time right now. But all this is fulfillment in the book. All of this is fulfillment. All this is, it is what it is. Somebody said, buyer beware. Y'all got to know. And like I said, the people that be selling it to you, the other thing you got to remember, when we start dealing with the New World Order, these people are pushing us in a certain direction. And it's all, and they feel it's all for the better. Y'all heard me mention the Georgia Guidestones. They don't know who paid for that, but it just say you got to bring the population down. Now, when we start dealing with the Bible and we start dealing with conspiracies, clearly it's going to be a cashless society. The book teach that. Clearly it's going to be a one world government. The book teach that. But some people go too far with certain things and conspiracies. When we start dealing with 9/11, I seen that other building fall and the plane ain't even hit it. 6 hours later, after them other buildings fell, another building fell, and nobody can tell me that building was not pre-wired to fall. Period. He said, Berean got that big body. Ooh. That's all about it. I got that train card and that jumping in that. And I done stepped down from Uber, being that being that I done came back from Philly. But but we got to be careful with a lot of that stuff when we start dealing with that. Like I said, when we start dealing with this New World Order and all of this stuff is in the name of Christianity. This stuff is in the name of Buddhism. This stuff is in the name of positive confession. This stuff is in the name of I am a God, because they believe that we're really evolving as a people, and the job is to destroy all religions and just to move into spirituality, and it's all better for everybody else. One reason that this COVID virus is spreading so much is because we're becoming a global community. So people are against certain things. You can't just be Israel over here and that's China over there because of the internet, because of Twitter. We're seeing different cultures, and cultures are mixing, and people are moving. We got more people of African descent living in China, speaking a language and everything over there. We become smaller in general. And all this happened. Rich says, in the last days, knowledge is going to increase. We got to have these computers. We got to have these phones. We got to have this. We got to have these tracking systems. We got to have GPS. We got to have all of this stuff for everything to be fulfilled, because we're moving in a certain direction. So all of this stuff got to come. It has to come to pass. And these are steps that we see this stuff being fulfilled. We see this stuff happening. So one of the good things is, whilst we seeing it, like I said, our book is breaking this thing down, explaining this whole thing. We got to look at Hollywood. We can't play with Hollywood when they throwing stuff out there. They're showing you some stuff. This what I call the prophets of Hollywood. A lot of this stuff. Some people say, yo, that movie Contagion, how is they saying the same thing that they were just saying here? It's two reasons for that. When people are these dudes in Hollywood, when they're writing stuff, they're going to the CDC. When they're let's say it's a bank robbing scene, shootout investigation, they're going to retired cops. They're asking officers. They're saying, come on to set with us. We want to make sure they holding the weapons right. Are they doing this right? They want real people there to train the actors and what to do and what to say. So somebody could be an actor on TV like Denzel, but he's really moving like somebody on the SWAT team because he had real people there. When people do movies like Contagion and all of this stuff, they would ask for people from the CDC to come, scientists to come. Do me a favor, what's the name of that, Miss B? Put that name down there. I think it started with a scientist that study bacteria. These scientists from Cajun, the scientists from the CDC that's studying this whole COVID thing. What's the name? They have a specific name. We don't need to listen to Donald Trump. We need to listen to the scientists and what the scientists say about diseases and how does disease spread, how long it can stay on something before I touch it, and how, is it airborne? What does it mean by different things? We got to understand what the scientists are talking about in this hour. And these are the people that study that. So when these people are doing movies to make it so authentic, they would go ahead and get the real people to ask them certain things. People say, but what they said on the news is exactly what they said on Contagion. That's a problem. How deep is this rabbit hole with? Thank you so much. Thank you. So I knew Miss B. I know I got some sharp folk up in here. I know I got some sharp folk up in it. So when the scientists and certain people when we start seeing them doing certain things, sometimes it could be a coincidence, but then other times we got to be careful because the media is a whole nother thing. We're going to talk about that another time, but the media is a whole nother thing. Another thing that was running around online and people were sitting me, Berean, I'm telling you, can't trust these wife. As soon as I open up an email, stop sending me these long emails. Well, as soon as I open up an email and I start seeing, and look on the bottom, Lysol, this ain't nothing new. This got to do with the 5G. The earth is flat. I'm like, Rome, what the, oh, Lord, I'm scratching my head. Boy, I need some coffee dealing with these folk. Listen, when you look on the Lysol and you look on the back of that Lysol bottle, and this thing is going all over Facebook, and people running around here talking about COVID, listen, this corona already existed. How could it be on the back of the Lysol bottle that say that they kill it? This, when you start talking about corona, corona is a family. What biologists have studied is that you can have certain things, like you got one strand of herpes and another strand will come out. You got different strands of the same thing. This is just part of that family. A lot of the bacteria is alive and they can grow, and they can come, like people say, you got to be careful. You keep dealing with the penicillin. What's the penicillin? The that they give you, when you say antibiotics, you keep taking them, your body going to be immune to that. Your body will start changing. The microbiologist, that's another, thank you, Dave. And your body will start changing. This is just a stronger form. Like they say, oh, we start dealing with the West Nile virus, the mad cow disease, and all of this stuff. Mutations. Thank you, Mike Shaw. Good to see you. And this thing of mutate, so it's a different, stronger form of it. So because you see the word COVID, we're just hearing it right now, but it's already been out for a number of years. So it's not that the white folk running around here, y'all got to slow down with that. Yo, oh, this is you see, this is what I'm telling y'all. And a lot of times when stuff come up in the hood, and I call Facebook the hood, because I'm on the hood side of Facebook, because I'm on there with some folk talking crazy. Folk talking, and you thank you, what he says, folk getting that coronavirus caused the flat earth, and they messing with that flat earth, and they mess with, and they trying to put that together with the 5G, and I'm like, yo, man, y'all doing the most with it. We got to break all of this stuff down, and we got to separate everything and make sure we get in a clear understanding. Listen, you could say what you want. Sister Smith, good to see you. You could say what you want, but we got to understand that we living in a time right now, it's going to be fake news. Even if it's Fox, even if it's fake news, even when it's on the real news, not just on Facebook, not just on the internet. Because a lot of times Fox News and all of them, they're pushing an agenda, and they'll get out here to hype the people up. Somebody said, well, you could say what you want. That many people didn't die yet. One thing, it didn't this corona didn't fully develop. They're trying to say right now it may be a little longer, so they want people locked down for a month. But we ain't gonna be running around here grabbing each other, spitting on each other in church, and spreading the thing more and more. Now our prayers and our thoughts go out to them. A lot of people have passed. A lot of people have passed, black and white and Asian, Latin, everything. When we start dealing with viruses, we got to put that racism down. Like when we start dealing with scholarship, we got to put it down. People of all ethnic groups are dying, period. And you got these fools running around here trying to make this thing some black white thing, and spreading false information. We got to be careful. We got to vet the source. Where is this stuff coming from? Thank you. Do me a favor. Somebody, Mayfield said propaganda. Do me a favor. Who wrote that book? Sigmund Freud's nephew. Put that book in there. Y'all can get that book. Y'all might could get that book on. Y'all might could get that book online for 99 cents. That book, Propaganda. A lot of propaganda is here. It's on the media. A lot of propaganda is running around here in these churches. Religion got propaganda. We got to be careful when we're dealing with this propaganda. We got to understand some stuff. All right, I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna mess around and make some phone calls. I gotta give me some coffee. I'm messing around and get some phone calls. We get up in here at 12 o'clock, and we're gonna try to go in. Sister Smith, I never gave you a call, right? Sometimes I got so much stuff coming in, and then I be seeing people names, I be remembering stuff. We was on 78 minutes. All right, y'all got to give me some thumbs up. Y'all gotta yeah, and y'all gotta support the work too. Give us $1. Let me put that thing out there. And then, like I said, then we'll really be talking about that whole tax exempt thing and all of that stuff. Do you need a 501 and all of this other crazy stuff these people trying to talk about? These people trying to get off of this. These people trying to get off of the subject. You hear me, Perry? These folk trying to get off of the subject. We trying to get these folk to stay on this subject, and there's some things that's coming out. And there's a people that's just looking and thinking. There's some people that's really just listen. I'm really trying to feel this whole thing out. And then later on, I'm going to explain to y'all, as far as the testimony and everything, and why church is and why church is good. There is a good side to church if it's done right. But if it's done wrong, boy, it's like a gun in the wrong hands. Boy, it's gonna kill you. It'll kill you. And there's a lot of people that's been out here that's been beat down, hurt. The church done killed them. They walking around, but they dead. Zoom sessions. Yeah, we're gonna do the private Zoom thing. Yeah. Oh, we back jumping now. Like I said, we done went and got this. We done went and got this little Mac here. We're gonna try to make some stuff happen. Like I said, I appreciate I appreciate the support and everything. We on our daily stuff. I'm still in the Airbnb. Okay, I'm gonna hit you up, Sister Smith. I'm still in the Airbnb. Y'all know after that whole thing. Then I got really thrown off of that whole thing after going down there to Philly and that whole thing with Dr. E and all of that other stuff. But most are working it out. It's just like, we just trust them daily, especially they trying to say, well, you got to be locked in right now. Everybody got to lay low. And, of course, and do me a favor, call y'all family too. I'm going to break down and call my mama. I'm going to break down and call her. Somebody's like, yo, Breen, you got to stay inside too. You ain't like, spring chicken out. That's a whole nother thing. All right, I've been in here 80 minutes here. Thank y'all for them thumbs up. We appreciate y'all with the support and all of that stuff. And like I said, them folk ain't gonna like it, but we gonna get them, and I'm gonna make sure I put it out there. There's a special guest coming on. Boy, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And it's just talk. Like, and who knows what'll come from this. Because I got so many people, Berean, you gotta stop this nonsense with Israel. You gotta stop this nonsense. You said yourself you was a Cushite. Why? Why are you dealing with this? You helping them promote this nonsense. I said, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute, what nonsense now? But y'all ain't promoting no nonsense. Wait a minute now. We got to really talk. Listen, that's a whole nother thing. All right, y'all. I'm gonna jump off here. Like I said, I put that PayPal link in there. Y'all know we are $ Berean Teacher on the Cash App. If y'all want to put a buck in there, we appreciate y'all. We're gonna try to jump back on. Let me see what time it is. Oh man, it's 10 o'clock. We're gonna try to jump back on in 2 hours. Let me make some phone calls, see if I can set something up for y'all. All right. Let me make sure no, that's another thing now. Let me make sure I remember how to end this thing. I don't know if that's gonna end it the right way. All right, maybe that ain't gonna do it. All right, I think I got it